Okay, my webcam doesn't seem to be working, but anyway, I'm just going to show you a few things related to kind of formatting to make it look nice, and also the calculation aspect. So one of the most powerful things about a spreadsheet, of course, is it can act like a calculator, but you have to know how to program it, so to speak. All right, so first of all, any of these cells, when we're talking about like where a cell is, has a unique what we call cell reference, and it's going to be referred to by the letter of the column and the number of the row. So if I look at this value 156 here, if I click on it, you'll see that it's in column D, row 7. So we would call this cell D7. And so that's the reference if we want to refer back to it, and we'll use that type of thing in formulas. Okay, a couple other things that we can do. You've seen this before, but you can adjust the precision. So right now these zeros show up as a single decimal place, but these two buttons will increase or decrease decimal places. So if for some reason I wanted to, or more often than not, it's like it will be set to get rid of those zeros, but I want to make sure that they show up so that the 0.5s and the 0.0s are the same instead of rounding off the zeros. Anyway, that's the decimal precision adjustment. Okay, we can change the size of any row or column by using, if I get to the border, you'll get a little arrow, and so I could make this wider, or I could make it smaller, and so you can see what happens. We don't want to have really wide columns with a bunch of empty space. It just doesn't make sense. So we can shrink it down, adjust it. The same thing is true for rows as much as it is for columns, and so you can see we can adjust it there. We don't want to go too narrow because it's going to hide some of the, like we won't see the units, so we can go higher. Okay, at the top you see these like thick gray ones. These, if my little Mario glove here, if I click and drag and pull down, what that's going to do is it's going to freeze everything above the line. And so what that means is for a big long spreadsheet, if I scroll down, you'll notice that it keeps the header locked there or frozen. So that's kind of useful. Especially when we have a big spreadsheet like this one. So I'm going to leave it like that. I could also freeze the first column, and that would be useful if I was scrolling this way, but I'm not really. I'm just going to unfreeze it. So I take the Mario glove and drag him back. Okay, I will shrink this one. There's no reason it needs to be so wide, just to show the letter G and A. Okay, we can also merge cells. So like if I want to combine these two into one, I'm going to have to find the merge button, which is these two arrows together, and I can just as easily unmerge it. I can wrap words to make it look nice. So like here, you see that the words are cut off because they're running in and out of the cell. I don't like that. We want to be able to see all the words. Okay, so from a presentation standpoint. So this button here adjusts the formatting of the words. So I can do this one. That little arrow means it's going to wrap it. Ta-da, looks better, right? Okay. Also here, this one's already wrapped, but you can see that there's a lot of text in here. So I might make this actually a little bit taller, but then right now, if I look, I can see like the units are on two different lines, and that looks ugly. And so does, I think this looks ugly. So I can make this look nicer by forcing some return line breaks in so that the parenthetical index fingers on the next line, and then the units are all on the next line. If I'm in here, if you type in the cell to edit, you can type there, but you can also edit in the formula bar. So this is locating the formula bar, this FX. I can also make this a bit bigger if I want more space up there. But notice it's all on one line. Now, if I want to make a line break, if I'm here and I just hit the Enter key, it's going to take me out of the box. But I want to actually edit it. So if I go up here, or if I'm in here anyway, it'll work the same. I'm just going to hold down the Option key when I hit Enter. So if I'm here or here, I'm going to hold down Option and then hit Enter, and that's going to force a line break. And I'll do that again, Option and Enter, and then Enter again to leave the cell, and now it looks much nicer, right? Okay, so we've made it look nice. If we have all this data, another thing that we can do is we can sort the data. So one thing is, for example, if I want to put all these numbers just in this column in order, if I highlight a range, so I'm highlighting a range by clicking, holding, and dragging my mouse, okay, and that highlights all of these cells. If I do data, sort range by column C there, so range is what I've selected. A to Z, it's going to give me the biggest numbers to the smallest numbers. Smallest to largest. But what you notice now is that notice that these other values didn't move. So each person on this row was one person, But these have been ordered now, but these haven't. So in this case, that's not a good thing to do because we're going to lose the connection between like whoever person was 157. Well, they don't have a wingspan of 165. So this row does not apply to that whole person anymore. So I'm going to undo that. I'll just hit Command Z and unsort them. But what I can do is I can sort all of them together. So if I want to sort by this column and I want to move the rest of the sheet with it, I can do data sort sheet by column C, A to Z. And what's going to happen is all the values in this column are going to be reordered, but it will take the values in each row with it. So if I do it now, you'll watch what happens. Oops. Let's try that again. What happened there? Vertical merge. Try again. If I do data sort sheet by column C, there's a problem. A2 to A. Okay, so it doesn't want to move these around. But if I highlight, for example, I'll highlight these ones. So it doesn't want to play nice with these because they're merged. That's what it's telling me. So if I sort this range by the column, so if I sort a larger range by a single column, it's going to move. You'll see what's going to happen. So like before we do this, if you look here, 163 is going to get reordered, but it should apply to 165.1, 7.2, and so on. So here, data sort sheet, sort range by column B. And then this 163 you see is, oh, I did it by the wrong column, I think. Sorry. Data, sort the range. We want to sort it by column C. So here, sort by column C. A to Z, sort. Boom. 154, it's in numerical order, and you can see the student numbers now have been reordered. So this is basically height order for all the classes, okay? And it hasn't, so one thing that we've lost because of the way that we've got it here is we can't see whether they came from block G or block A. If we color coded it, we could see that, or if I unmerge this cell and put G, 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 A, that would also work. Anyway, I'm going to undo that now, and you've seen that. So that's the sorting piece. Okay, so that's just some formatting things. And then let me show you a couple. That's good. We'll leave it there. That's formatting.